Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Just through the spirit with another video, because there's a lot of distractions going on. Meanwhile, things are getting ready to pop off. To those of us in the know, we know that at any moment, any day, the Lord can, make his move, which we're anticipating, we're hoping, we're expecting. So with that being said, of course, that day, Lord willing, is not going to catch us like a thief in the night. But again, here it is, all these distractions going on. I do believe the Super Bowl is this Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. Super Bowl, So the Super Bowl being held this Sunday. And, just speculating through the spirit, We be doing some rambling a little bit, but I do want to make a few points. All right. Because I'm going to go ahead and start with this before I ramble. Speaking expressly through the spirit. With all this talks of attacks, right? And warnings going out about being just mindful when it comes to being around large crowds and whatnot. Again, this is just said speculation. Of course, we'd have to wait and see. I don't know, because no one knows but the Lord. But they were talking about something taking place during the Super Bowl, some type of attack. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. But nevertheless, we know and understand, all right, that at any time, any moment, any day, something can and will pop off. I'm gonna get this in Ephesians chapter 5, verse, I'll start at 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Yeah, because, like I said, with all these distractions going on, and mainly when it comes to Jake, all right, Jake is really blinded to the fact, Jake is completely ignorant. Jake is just straight up stupid as hell, But thankfully, to those of us in the know, we are in the know, right? It says redeeming the time because the days are evil, all right? So knowing and understanding the times, man, redeeming the times, being very observant, diligent, focused, all right, because things are happening. And again, it takes an idiot not to see what, things are being moved into place. The stage is being set for something to take place, for something to happen. Clearly we see that. We see it. So where should our conversation be? Our thought process. Because again, with these distractions, such as the Super Bowl, right? Everyone's talking about the Super Bowl, but here it is being said with China, the so-called Chinese. It was being said how they're planning for some type of, as some say, Pearl Harbor style of a cyber attack. All right, some type of Pearl Harbor style cyber attack, which there's already cyber attacks taking place, here and there. And I'm talking about here in Babylon, hospitals getting struck and, people's data getting leaked and whatnot, banks being affected, As a matter of fact, speaking of banks, because they're talking about another, banking crisis is resurging. Let me just look some stuff up real quick. Bear with me. I saw something dealing with the banking industry, which sparked the conversation of, again, the banking crisis, which that could spark all type of bank runs and things of that nature. But like I said, things like that are already happening. They're already taking place as we speak. As far as these cyber attacks, which is not really being reported on like that because everyone's distracted. Everyone's distracted. You see? And speaking of China, and real quick, because dealing with these cyber attacks and whatnot, there's a lot of psyops going on. I'll say that. A lot of psyops. A lot of beta tests going on. Right? And just me personally, speaking as a man, with all these psyops going on, all these cyber attacks and whatnot, I think that's I think that's in preparation for these elections that's coming up in November. Lord willing, we don't make it that far, but that's what I think. That's what I believe. Because Lord willing, come these elections, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna take place. Something's gonna go down. Come these elections. It's no coincidence they are using, or they've been using Trump to pretty much stir the pot of things. This guy's clearly, what do you call it? One of those, basically like a tool, just a tool used to stir up some chaos, man. This guy's saying all type of, he's just speaking all type of things out of his out his mouth, man. Because Biden is, just ever since this guy Biden got in office, he's been labeled one of the worst presidents in American history. And like brothers have mentioned, before Biden got in office, brothers have mentioned it, hey, because everyone was crying for Trump to get out of there, but hey, you're going to be crying for Trump to get back in there, which that's what's going on now. Everyone's screaming for Trump because he's, playing a role, he's playing a role, especially Jake. A lot of Jake that was talking shit against Trump and they wanted Biden in there. Right? Like I said, brothers, I said it. You think people thought Trump was bad. Biden's going to be worse. And now it's getting to a point where even Jake, because Jake was the main one screaming for Trump to get out of there because, he's a racist and this and that. Now everyone's calling for Trump because this guy, like I said, he's playing a role. He's telling people what they want to hear. Those smooth words, like the scriptures say, because this guy Trump, he's, catch himself, speaking against the CBDCs and, talking about getting rid of all the illegal immigrants. And because another thing with the immigration crisis, right? Going back to what I was mentioning earlier with these attacks. Here it is, the crime has been going up. All right. Because a lot of these, immigrants, because I've said this before, you got to remember, a lot of these immigrants that have come from these third world countries or whatnot, and they're used to, just basically being in a war zone, right? They come over here, and these so-called gangsters and thugs or wannabe thugs, come to find out these cats are soft, because them cats that's coming over here, man, they're gonna show these Americans what the deal is. They're gonna show these Americans what's up. And more, we're starting to see these attacks ramp up. Supposedly they're finding all type of IED. I think that's what they called. These what's it called, man? They're finding them down there at the Mexican border and whatnot. What are they called? They're these type of bombs. I think they're IED bombs, if I'm not mistaken. I could be saying that wrong. But nevertheless, these bombs, pretty much, more and more they're finding at the border, right? More and more of these, I guess you could say, international terrorists have been coming across the border. Some of them, getting arrested. Some of these guys are on the FBI wanted list and stuff like that, and they're coming right on in. They're coming right on in for a purpose. All right, they're coming in for a purpose. You see, and something I was thinking about, because like I said, Lord willing, we don't make it that far. Yeah, Lord willing, we don't see another, election term. But again, with all this talk of Trump, which Trump was talking about the crackdown and things of that nature, to me personally, hypothetically speaking, if Trump does get back in office, I could see him declaring some type of, or I'll say bringing in, draconian measures to track down all these immigrants. All right, track and trace, which will further usher in the MOTB. Just a long story short, don't really want to get into the intricate details, but I can see that happening. I can see that taking place. Because remember, man, these devils, they're straight up liars. They're straight up liars. They tell you what you want to hear. Biden was a perfect example of that. Ain't came through on the promise yet. But going back to China, because another thing I've been kind of watching out for. Because matter of fact, let me play this video. I want to play this video. Because on another note, the stock market is getting ready to crash, man. It's getting ready to this crash that's getting ready to take place, is going to make the Great Depression, 2008, all those combined look like a walk in the park. And as we know, or should know, because what's going on in China, You know, that's pretty much going to be America 2.0, because what's going on in China right now, you know, their economy is so bad, you know, and China's their stock market is getting ready to dump. You see, bear with me as I pull this up real quick. And that also leads me to another point that I want to make before I forget. All right, because I saw this movie recently. It's called bear with me real quick. It was actually a decent movie. It is a foreign, one of those foreign movies, so you got to bear with the subtitles or whatnot. But it was actually, there was definitely some spiritual gems. Bear with me as I look for this. If I can find it. I just saw it the other day. And this movie was basically, of course, another, post-apocalyptic type of movie. And one of the things that stuck out in this movie was the fact that, there was a bartering system, which that's coming back real soon. Bear with me. If I can find it. If I can find it. It's definitely a dope flick. Yeah, I can't find it. But it was basically this, just this post-apocalyptic movie type of setting. And in this movie, again, pretty much everything went to shit. The world went to shit. And it reminded me of because that's exactly what took place in this movie, and that's exactly what's getting ready to take place out here in real life. Gonna go back to this bartering system. Because again, to go back to this real quick, I'm gonna play this video real quick.
You guys, get ready for it. I'm telling you guys, prepare, okay? U.S. bank stocks sink after New York Community Bancorp cuts dividends, you guys. Last week, I told you guys on the 23rd when the S&P 500 spiked and reached the all-time high, I said you guys need to prepare because it's going to crash. I made all these graphs. This is a comparison to the 1929 stock market crash, okay? You see how it boomed and then crashed. This was 2008, boom, crash, okay? And this is all the way up to now, boom, crash. And then just a few days ago, Evergrande China's real estate firm, they were ordered to liquidate $300 billion in assets. This was Evergrande's stock right after that announcement plummeted. And then just yesterday, New York Community Bank Corp, the stock plummeted. That was yesterday. This was a news article yesterday. U.S. bank stocks sink after New York Community Bank Corp cuts dividend. This was New York Community Bank. This is Western Alliance. This is Zions Bank. Valley National. Everything's plummeting, you guys. Metropolitan Bank. Commercial Incorporated. Not only that, you guys, we have several banks, several large companies making massive layoffs. Here's a news article, Regions Bank announcing layoffs. In this article, they're saying they're laying off 3% of their total workforce. Citigroup to cut 20,000 jobs by 2026. There's also been layoffs on U.S. Bank layoffs, Wells Fargo layoffs. You guys, they're laying off a lot of people in every banking industry. Here's an article, the full list of major U.S. companies slashing.
So yeah, that's pretty much it on that. Because it's almost a 4.5, 5 minute video. So what I'll do is I'll post that video if you want to watch it, study it. I'm gonna post it on my backup channel, and for those that don't know, I always post the links to my other channels in the link description. So, Lord willing, it'll be up there if you want to watch that video. But yeah, man, you know, when you go through the charts, go through the numbers, yeah, man, hey, this crash is gonna be like nothing ever before, man. You know, this shit is getting ready to crash hard. Like I said, it's going to make all the other crashes, the Great Depression, all that combined look like a walk in the park. You see? And going back to China, because, hey, you know, they're pretty much already in this deflationary period, you know. And like I said, because just to bring that up, dealing with China's economy, because again, that's pretty much the model for what's going to take place here in America. All right. You see, all these things, there's so much to go into, so much going on. All right. But nevertheless, all these things are going on right now while everyone is distracted for the most part. You know, here it is. You got these, what are those Apple GoPro things, you know, everyone's talking about right now, you know, which that's another thing, because I see celebrities starting to rock it. Celebrities are starting to talk about it, you know, and as it's been said plenty of times, man, hey, be prepared, because when that MOTB comes around, the more and more it starts to come around, the more you're going to see celebrities advertising it. You see, these celebrities, these so-called celebrities, they're going to have to cash out. Eventually, they're going to have to cash out, man. You know? So they're going to start more and more advertising at MOTB. You know? Hell, don't be surprised even starting with that Neuralink. Because there's videos going around right now, you know, dealing with the Neuralink. All right? And people are making light of it. People are making fun of it, you know. But soon this is going to be everyone's reality. All right. Soon this will be everyone's reality. And without it, like the prophecy states, you won't be able to buy or sell. All right. Which leads me back to the point that I was making. Going back to this bartering system. Going back to this bartering system. Slocky, I really want to try to find this movie trailer. I just watched the because I'm trying to get in the habit of watching these movies again. You know, I just finished watching the how it ends the other day. You know, bear with me, because it's definitely on Netflix. I really want to find this movie trailer, man. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was typing the dude's name wrong. I was typing his name wrong. Because this guy, Don Lee. Yep, that's it. The Wadi Abashimam Shai. This movie, Banned Land Hunters. Yep, that's it. Banned Land Hunters. All right. You see? The Banned Land Hunters. Like I said, it's a dope flick. Definitely check it out. You know, like I said, pretty much the movie's about, you know, a post-apocalyptic setting, you know, pretty much a dog-eat-dog world, you know, everyone out for survival. You got to get it how you can, you know, type deal, you know. And it was to the point where it was so bad, food was so scarce, you know. People, man, they were hunting alligators, you know, all type of abominable foods, snakes, you know, just things that we're not supposed to be eating according to the law, but out of desperation, that's how bad it was, you know. And it reminds me of this. It reminds me of this. Bear with me, because, you know, throughout our history, you know, there's been several times where, you know, we've dealt with famine. You know, the most you know, one of the most notable was, of course, during the time of the siege of Jerusalem, where it was so bad that people were eating the shoe latches off their you know, their sandals or whatnot. Yeah, you know. Bear with me. Because that's immediately what I thought about when I watched this movie, dealing with the bargaining. Slocky, I'm trying to walk and not bust my ass, pay attention to traffic, pull up the precept at the same time, so bear with me. So in 2 Kings chapter 6, 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 24. And it came to pass that after this, that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And you see, this is what's taking place now as we speak, all right? You know, I've touched on before. Where the hell am I going? I've touched on this before. Just going into, you know, the farmlands being bought up, factories being destroyed, and, you know, all these cattle, chickens, cows, you know, all these cattle animals being culled, destroyed, killed off. You know, that's a form of sieging. You know, that's a form of sieging. Being besieged. You see? Because Esau, man, listen, his thing is going to be to back everyone into a corner. All right? He's going to back everyone into a corner. All right? And when the time comes, hey, everyone's going to come seeking a solution. And Esau, even though he's the one that created all the problems in the world, nevertheless, everyone's seeking a solution. Everyone's seeking everyone's crying out for help. And the time's going to come. The time's going to come. All right? Where he's going to present his solution. The solution to everyone's problem is going to come in the form of that MOTB. You see, this is what he's doing. He's cutting off the resources. The scriptures talk about being perplexed. All right? And being perplexed, being in perplexity, being perplexed, it basically goes into without resources, and lack. And that's what's getting ready to happen more and more. It's already happening. It's just going to happen more and more. Things are going to get more and more tight, more and more uncomfortable, right? And to the point where, to the non-believers, they're going to be forced into taking that MOTB. All right? So going back to 2 Kings 6:24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And you see, like I said, a lot of distractions going on, right? A lot of distractions going on. Everything's being moved into place. You're an idiot if you don't see it happening right before your very eyes. But the stage for chaos is being set. All right, the stage is being set for all chaos, all hell to break loose. Because again, with the more and more, with this border crisis, these immigrants coming through, attacks. Here it is. You got cartels having shootouts with the sheriffs. Cops getting attacked, sheriffs getting in the firefights with the cartels. Things are going to ramp up to the point where, that justification for them shutting things down, man, they're going to be justified. That's why I mentioned with even with Trump, I could see how if somehow he gets back into office, somehow if he gets back into office, and if he has this major crackdown on these immigrants or whatnot, I could see. I mean, to me, it makes sense how maybe he could declare martial law and basically, long story short, track, trace, control, monitor. I could see that happening. Because make no mistake about it, man. Whether it be the left wing or the right wing, they're all devils, man. They're all devils, all feathers of the same bird. So it don't make no difference. You see? Real quick, Ezekiel. Where's that at, man? Ezekiel 23. Ezekiel 23 and verse 23. The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekod and Shoah and Koa, and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men. What's being said right now with this whole border crisis? Military aged men, right? It says captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses, and they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. So what is that? That's basically martial law. Foreign troops, martial law. All right. Everything's being shut down, man. Military troops, tanks, checkpoints, the whole 9 yards. Something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? You see? All this is being orchestrated, set up through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai to take place here in America. All right, and like I said, because hey, this is a part of the sieging, the besieging that's taking place. You know. But back in 2 Kings 6 and 25, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. Which they Jake primarily was in this area. It says, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So you see, man. All right. It said it. What did it say, man? It said an ass's head. Show you how bad it was, because any part of an animal, or any animal, typically the head, you ain't gonna find no meat. But nevertheless, this is what was going on during that time. This is what was going on in the movie that I showed. Like I said, people were hunting alligators. Anything that was had legs and was moving. They were trying to eat it, sell it, capture it, sell it for meat. You see, man, because it was a bartering system. All right, dove's dung, shit was sold for overpriced, hyperinflated prices. People were buying shit at high prices, man. Literally. But that just should show you how bad it was, And these are coming back, These type of times are coming back on a major scale. Because when you read on in that chapter, hey, cannibalism, which that's another thing that's coming back in a major way. Cannibalism. I'm gonna go to Genesis 47. Genesis 47. I'm gonna start at 1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brethren and their flocks and their herds and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan. And behold, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, and presented them unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his brethren, what is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. They said moreover unto Pharaoh, for to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. In the land of Egypt is before thee. In the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell in the land of Goshen. Let them dwell, and if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. We get to the point. Jump down to verse 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. So you see, this is what's getting ready to happen here. The stock market, all that's getting ready to crash. You got these guys talking about buying silver and gold. Listen, that's not going to save you in the day of wrath. All right, you're not going to be able to buy. No one's going to be able to buy their way out of judgment. All right. It says, and Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread all their cattle for that year. So you see, it was a bartering system. That's the point. All right, it was a bartering system. It's gonna get so bad out here. Hey, fathers, mothers, they're gonna be selling their daughters off, for some food. It's going to get bad out here, man. It's going to get bad. I'm going to jump to Revelation 6, and I'm going to close out. You see, all these things are being set, prepared into place. while all these distractions are going on, man, you know, it's about to get crucial out here. Revelation 6. Revelation 6 in verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And behold, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and wine." So the point being, all right, because like I said, a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. You see, because basically when you break it down, when you go into it, you know, during the time of because, you know, John the Revelator, he was this was during the time of the Roman Empire, so the ancient Roman Empire. All right. So at that time, the money got so devalued, you know. You talk about hyperinflation. It took a day's worth of pretty much like a Roman soldier, you know. And I mean, you gotta admit, you gotta admit, you know, because even today, someone in the, or I'll say, because today they don't pay shit, but there was a time where, you know, being in law enforcement, being in the military services, you know, they paid good, you know. You know, you got you got decent wages. So going back to the pagan ancient Roman Empire, all right, hey, those Roman soldiers, they got paid decent money. You know, they got paid a good living. You know, but it got to a point where, again, the money at that time, the denarius was so deflated, all right, it was so devalued, all right, that it took a full day of work, took a full day of wages, man, to buy a loaf of bread, man. You know, to just to put it in modern terms, you know, just to buy a loaf of bread. You know, to buy a bag of flour. You know, just to put it in modern terms, you know. You see, it's gonna take a day, or excuse me, it took a day's wages to buy the bare minimum, a loaf of bread, because that's what the times that we're coming into. All right, you know, people think that this inflation is bad now, and people think that the worst is behind us. Man, we haven't seen nothing yet. It's gonna get bad out here. One day, man. One day, you know. One day we're gonna wake up, man, and a gallon of milk is gonna run you $500, $1,000, man. You know. One day you're gonna wake up and a loaf of bread is gonna run you $1,600, man. You know. That's how crucial it's gonna get. That's how bad it's gonna get, man. You see, and again, all signs point to prophecy ultimately playing out. You know, because like I said, to not see that things are being moved into place, man. You got to be straight up idiot. You know, you got to be straight up idiot to not see these things, to not see the Lord moving things into place, man. Because the hell with Esau, you know, this is all of the Lord. You see, so Yahweh Shema Shai, hey man, hey, things are moving into place, man, swiftly. All right, America's being set up for the taking. It's being set up for the fall. It's ripened for judgment, man. You know. But yeah, man, all these distractions, and you know, hey, you know, we're at the cusp of prophecy. This shit is about to spill over 100-fold. You know, so don't let these distractions fool you and throw you off. You know. But Lord, one of this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom to you. Hopefully let.